Surround yourself with an army of giants, men and women who are metaphorically a couple of inches taller than you. You don't need to be metaphorically the tallest person in the room. Quite the contrary, that if you want to be in the position where you can make yourself redundant, that you can actually take yourself out of the day-to-day operations to do some strategic time to think, to work on the 3 decisions a year you're actually paid to make, then you need to be able to hand over to a team of very talented people. In their specialisms, they are the best of the best. But remember, knowledge, skills, and attitude, KSA, don't half for knowledge and skills necessarily, half for attitude every time. Half for attitude and far for attitude. And you'll find that they will adapt and they will learn, and you can give them the knowledge and the skills, and they can find mentors, they can find coaches and other people to learn from. When you're lower down in the organization, knowledge and skills, very, very important. But when you get more senior, it's your attitude and your strategic mindset, the owner's mindset, that will be important. Because if you hire an executive team or a leadership team who are all just like you, what kind of world would it be like? And if everyone in the world was just like me, I think it would be an absolute nightmare. So I've seen with many CEOs or senior leaders in the teams that they have pulled together, the best ones are the most diverse. I'm not just talking about gender, I'm talking about mindset, a diversity of mindset. Because sometimes, one CEO I can think of had lots of people who were very analytical, just like him, attention to detail. And he found, this is great, these people, they're just like me. Yes, but he was completely blindsided to the ability for people who were storytellers and could make people come alive. And I'm sure you've done many of these psychometrics like Myers-Briggs, which I'm trained in, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, where you need the extrovert and the introvert, the sensing and the intuitive, the thinking and the feeling, the perceiving and the judging. You need these different types of people to see things from different angles. And if you're all looking from the same perspective, you will miss a lot. Not only that, but you'll particularly miss what it's like for your clients and your customers. You don't sell to one type of person who is just like you. They're a complete cross-section of people. So make sure that your own people can see things from multiple perspectives. There is, among the psychometrics, there's a couple of really good ones. One of the ones I'm thinking of is PROFIT. PROFIT stands for Predictive Role Profiling for High-Performing Executive Teams. And it's one of the psychometrics I tend to use a lot, and Lee and I use with teams, along with the individual directions inventory, what drives people, what gives them fulfillment, satisfaction. You need to know that about the people who work for you. What is it that, compared to others, they get most satisfaction and fulfillment from, so that you can direct them to those kind of projects. You can allocate your troops to tasks, as we used to call about it in the military, but you can allocate your people to the kind of tasks that they like to do. So that's a really important one. And in PROFIT, that it looks at the business cycle from, I suppose it's this way, isn't it? Design, develop, operate, and enhance. That who likes to be involved in being a designer, an entrepreneur, a sort of creator, an architect, who then in the development stage, who likes to do the operations, and who likes to enhance and make things even better before you go back through the cycle all over again. You've got aspects of, do they like to be into leadership or into management? Do they like to be in the present or thinking about the future? Are they into things more than people? What's their decision-making style? All these kind of things, all these factors, you need to know about your people. Not only do you need to know what makes them tick, if they're prepared to share anything about their family and their life and their background, what they're passionate about, their aspirations and hopes for the future. These are the kind of things you should know about the people that you lead, your army of giants. And I've seen the people that have to be the biggest man or woman in the room. It has to be all about them. That's fatally flawed, and it will all come unraveled. It particularly comes unraveled when they finish their tour or their time, I saw this happen in a fintech company where one particular person would not hire strong bench strength, people who are stronger and bigger and more knowledgeable than him. They all had to be metaphorical minnows, little tiny in comparison to him, which was fine when he was doing everything himself. But when he left, as he did, to a rival organization, there was nothing there. It was a wasteland of talent and ability, and they had to bring in a new set of leaders. And indeed, the leader in charge of him was drawn down into running his part of the business because it hadn't been run well. So the hiring of talent and the attitude to that, and getting what they call the keeper's test, which if you've read the book No Rules Rules by Reed Hastings, which is a very easy read. He was the CEO and still is the CEO of Netflix. He talks about knowing what you know now about the people in your team. Would you hire them again? Knowing what you know now, would you hire them again? And if the answer is no, why are they still in your team? And what are you going to do to help them find their happiness elsewhere? So surround yourself with an army of giants, people who are metaphorically a couple of inches taller than you, which allows you to almost make yourself redundant so that you can get from the balcony up onto the dance floor, and you can see the things that need to be done, the important aspects of your role that will move the business on, the 3 big decisions you have to make a year, to see them through and keep working on them so you deliver on those promises. Lots of small stuff, no one will know about it, but pick 3 things that are going to make the biggest difference. And that's what you need to be working on, and delegating and empowering other people to think for themselves. You should be involved in decision evaluation, and they should be involved in day-to-day decision making, because that's what their job is to do. Make lots of decisions, get on and do things, and not upward delegate to you. But if you're the biggest man or woman in the room, they're always going to be upward delegating to you. And if you find yourself overwhelmed and swamped with the amount of work you've got, there's only one person to blame. And if you look in the mirror, you'll find them, because it's you trying to be Superwoman or Superman doing everything yourself. Hire an army of giants.